Like the generation before me, my generation dumped an enormous financial burden on millennials during the noughties. Millennials, in turn, are dumping an enormous social, cultural burden on Generation Z. We seem to be willing, without conscience, to hand over something thousands have paid the ultimate price to secure for us. This intergenerational irresponsibility seems to be an almost unique trait of the democratic system, whereby the tyranny of the illogical many is secured over the logical few. In light of events both in Ireland and the continent recently, it begs the obvious question. Fortunately, this very battle is being fought presently in the United States, or leader of the free world, which suggests there is at least a cinder smouldering that may one day relight a fire upon this debate. Of course, we will never, nor wish to answer the question outright, and so it follows each generation has a civic responsibility to ponder actively or passively upon this issue. This is particularly relevant to Ireland for two reasons. A, like America, Ireland modelled itself as a republic. B, Eamon de Valera, the sole survivor of the initial revolutionary trinity and personal architect of the Constitution, was American by birth. Of this trinity, James Connolly was easily the odd one out, as he openly exposed Marxist doctrine. Collins was ideologically similar to de Valera. However, there seemed to be something of a power struggle between the two. Either way, the fact remains, de Valera was the only one to survive the initial hostilities into relatively peaceful times, where he set about designing a political system to replace the intern Free State. For this reason, I believe the Republic of Ireland of 1937 was for the most part modelled on the revolutionary American Republic. There is a lot of talk about the separation of church and state in the American model, and technically this is true. However, there are also inconsistencies. For example, the Constitution prohibits direct church-state relations, yet paradoxically relies on Christianity to ground the electorate in basic ethical and moral values. This had the effect of deregulation or decentralization, and what might be described as a tradition of free market Christianity was born. This explains the incredible amount of diverse Christian groups found in the United States, yet united around a set of core values. The point being, the Constitution relied on Christianity for homogeneity. That is to say, it is a Christian majority country whose constitution protects the rights of minorities. This too was the model largely copied by de Valera in 1937, but now it is 2017, and both republics face possibly the largest challenge to their existence, which is, will the rights of the former Christian majority be protected now we see the growing hegemony among the minorities? And let's face it, when gays and Islamists can put their differences aside and march in solidarity against that which dare not speak its name, there is growing hegemony among the minorities. Enter democracy. It is probably the most misunderstood concept in modern history. And although it is a vital part of the American and Irish political systems, neither are, contrary to popular belief, outright democracies. Like most things in life, democracy can be used in good faith or bad. Presently, I believe it is being used for the latter. In both countries, the left uses democracy as a vehicle by which to attack the republic. The important thing to remember is, democracy is not a means to an end. In recent times, we have seen the development of direct or technical democracies, Advocates of such a system point to Switzerland as an example, where one of the first things they voted for under such a system was to limit emigration, something the government so far has failed to deliver on. What Democrats don't understand is democracy has to be used in conjunction with a stabilising force, which explains why it routinely fails in the Middle East and the African continent. In order for democracy to flourish, it has to be preceded by a cultural, economic, religious, ethical, or spiritual homogeneity. Otherwise, it will fail. The hard left seeks to invert this very process in the West by destabilising already homogeneous peoples via democracy. I'm not suggesting all left-wingers are complicit in this plan, but there are a few sinister ringleaders who are so filled with self-loathing they make a jihadi pale in comparison, as they seek redemption through nothing short than the utter destruction of civilization, all because they've forgotten the most basic of universal values: forgiveness. These people tend to display sociopathic traits and are likely to be white, well-educated, employed by or in the government, NGOs, or the arts. Democracy should complement a republic, not seek to destroy it. I remind people the President, Chief of Staff, is charged with defending the Constitution, which is the very thing that separates a democracy from a republic. If the Constitution is defended, the Constitution will protect the citizen, not the other way around.